You can now buy a real flagship for the price of a budget phone. And no, I'm not talking about a mid-range phone pretending to be premium. I'm talking about a real flagship, a phone that once competed with the best devices in the world, a phone that pushed smartphone hardware forward, a phone that even today still feels surprisingly powerful. But here's the crazy part, right now, you can find it for around $190, and that completely changes the conversation. Because at that price, this is no longer about buying the newest phone. This is about buying the smartest one. Welcome back. This is Pryce, where we help you save money, buy smarter tech, and reduce unnecessary electronic waste. Because today, we're looking at a phone that proves something important. You don't need the newest flagship to get flagship performance. Back when this phone launched, it was expensive, very expensive. It had one of the best displays available, a powerful flagship processor, premium materials, and one of the most ambitious camera systems of its time. This wasn't a cheap phone trying to look premium. This was a premium phone through and through. And that's what makes this story interesting. Because years later, the hardware hasn't aged as much as you might expect. The display is still stunning, the performance is still solid, and the experience still feels flagship, which makes the current price almost unbelievable. Because today, you're not paying for hype, you're paying for proven flagship hardware. And this is where things get interesting, because this phone also had flaws, some big ones. But at $190, those flaws start to matter less. And that's when this device becomes one of the smartest buys in the flagship market. Because today, we're talking about the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra, a phone that launched as one of Samsung's most ambitious flagships, and now might be one of the best flagship bargains you can buy. Let's start with the pros. First, the display. This phone still has one of the best displays you can find at this price. A large AMOLED panel, high refresh rate, sharp resolution. Even in 2026, it still looks premium. Scrolling feels smooth, videos look vibrant, and overall, it still delivers a flagship experience. Second, performance. The Galaxy S20 Ultra came with flagship processors of its time, and today, that still translates into solid everyday performance. Apps open fast, multitasking feels smooth, and for most users, it's still more than enough. At $190, that's impressive. Third, the cameras. The Galaxy S20 Ultra introduced one of Samsung's most ambitious camera systems. High resolution, multiple lenses, and strong versatility. Even today, it can still take great photos, especially in good lighting. For the price, the camera system is still competitive. Fourth, premium build. This is still a flagship device. Glass, metal, large premium design, and a phone that still feels high-end in the hand. Now let's talk about the cons, because this phone is not perfect. First, the size. The Galaxy S20 Ultra is big, very big, and not everyone likes that. It can be harder to use one-handed and heavier than modern phones. Second, battery aging. Because this is an older phone, battery health may vary. Some renewed units will perform better than others, so that's something to keep in mind. Third, camera quirks. The S20 Ultra had autofocus issues at launch. Software updates improved things, but it's still not perfect, and that's important to know. But here's the key point. At $190, the expectations change, because you're no longer comparing it to new flagships, you're comparing it to budget phones. And suddenly, the Galaxy S20 Ultra looks like a steal, a real flagship. Premium display, strong performance, versatile cameras, and still a premium feel, all for the price of a budget phone. And that's why the Galaxy S20 Ultra is still one of the smartest flagship buys today. If you want flagship experience without flagship prices, this is one of the best options. Because sometimes, the smartest upgrade isn't the newest phone, it's the one that still delivers flagship performance years later. If you enjoy videos about smart buys, flagship deals, and saving money on premium tech, subscribe. Because here, we don't just follow hype, we buy smarter. See you in the next one. Peace, health, and well-being in your home.